Hey everyone, I am Coach Repa, and I am the head basketball coach here at Byram Hills. And this is my 20th year as the varsity basketball coach. Um, this program has become um, one of my passions. We've really built a strong program throughout Class A in Section 1, and obviously the bulk of the credit goes to the young men who've put on the jerseys and put in that hard work and sacrificed to become as great as possible at this game, this great game of basketball. But one of the other major components to our sustained success is having such a stable coaching staff over the years. And along with me this year at the varsity level is Coach Skonieczny, who is returning for his second year. Most of you know Coach S as a math teacher at the high school, but also from the soccer program. And it's been a great addition to our program to have another really competitive mind to work alongside with that the kids really like. And also being a presence at the high school during the school day, so that he can connect with the guys throughout the day as well. That's been such an asset. Returning to help us on a volunteer basis is Coach Ed Berlin, who's been in the program for 15 years and took last year off, so he's coming back, and we're excited to have him back. The JV head coach this year is going to be James Morales. James was the JV assistant last year. He's a former Fox Lane star and 4-year college player. He's also a phys ed teacher. He's stepping into the head coaching position, and he's going to be assisted by Steve Gage, who comes back after many years with me and some years in other districts as head varsity coach, to now return to Byram and provide some veteran leadership at the JV level. So we're happy to have him back. And then the freshman team is coming back, and Coach Eklund, who's been at the JV level the last few years, has decided to take over that level. So we have a really strong, competent, and caring coaching staff that will really help give the kids hopefully a positive experience. What's really also helpful is having so many sets of eyes, especially during the tryout process. And as I know most of you are watching this because of that, because that's the most stressful part of the season for the kids and, to be honest, for the coaches. Basketball is a really popular sport. A lot of kids have been playing for a long time, and as our program has gotten better, the amount of time and money that's been invested into basketball, starting from younger ages, from the parents is significant, and you want that payoff of your kid making the high school team. But the reality of it statistically is that it's very hard to make the team. There's only 5 guys that can play basketball at one time. And because of that, we cap the rosters at JV and varsity at 12. And the reason is because, after 12 kids, it's very hard to make those players 13, 14 feel like they're a valuable member of the team that's contributing. And once you have players that don't feel like they're helping, that's when problems occur. So we keep 12 at the varsity and JV, and then the freshmen anywhere from 12 to 15, because that's a younger level. We sometimes have a little more freedom there. In terms of when tryouts for varsity will begin Monday, November 15th. We will start JV tryouts on Wednesday, November 17th. And then freshman doesn't begin until the Monday after Thanksgiving, which is November 29th. We often get the question, should my freshman or sophomore go to varsity tryouts? And my answer is always the same. If they have a realistic chance of making the team, then absolutely come to varsity. The best players will make varsity. If your child knows they have no chance, but they just want to go see what it's like, don't do it. We want to give the most opportunities to the people that have realistic chances of making varsity, a chance to show that they deserve to be on the team. So, be honest with yourself. And if you think you have a shot, absolutely be there. And if you're wrong, we'll tell you. Very often after the first day, we will tell freshmen and sophomores who don't belong at the varsity tryout to come back for JV. Obviously, if you're a freshman and you don't make JV, you can then try out for freshman. Just please keep in mind when you're making that decision, the varsity tryouts, it's a physically intense environment. So if you're not physically ready for it from a safety perspective, make the right choice. So the best part of, like I was saying, having so many coaches is, you're going to have all those sets of eyes helping to evaluate who should make what team. All the coaches will attend the tryouts at various times. We will use rubrics independently and then collectively discuss who should be on the teams. We have a Google Classroom set up for the preseason, which will have kind of the open gym schedules before the official tryouts start, and then the times for the tryouts. That Google Classroom code is PUVFLH6. And if you have a hard time joining for whatever reason, just send an email to myself or Coach S, and we will send you the invite. But this will be what we use for the preseason, and then once teams are selected, we'll switch over to the Sports U platform. In terms of player expectations, you have to be fully committed. So what does that mean for varsity? It's a 6-day-a-week commitment. We practice over the Thanksgiving break, the Christmas break, and during the February break is typically playoffs, so you have to be available. You have to maintain good academic standing. You have to behave yourself both on and off the court. So you got to be a good teammate on the court, and you got to be a good teammate and citizen off the court. You can't be getting in trouble in school. Please be aware of what you post on social media. Less is always more, and nothing is better than less. But I understand that, that's sometimes not the world we live in. But please just be mindful of what you put out there. In terms of parent expectations, the number one thing you can do for your kid to try out is to get them the participation forms submitted, and that means you have an up-to-date physical on file with the school nurse. You need to have that. We need to have your kid cleared in order to try out, because if we don't have them on the list of cleared kids, they're going to be sitting off on the side on the first day. And when you got 40 kids trying out for 12 spots, that's not the best look. So get those forms in. Parents be role models at all times during games. Refs are humans, coaches are humans, other kids, just cheer your child and our team and leave it at that. If there's ever a discipline issue with your kid, please support us. The goal isn't necessarily that we're going to develop kids to be NBA players, although that would be wonderful. The likelihood of that is very low. But what we do want is to raise these young boys into men that are responsible, reliable, productive citizens in this world. And if there's a discipline issue, think of it as a learning experience. If you support us, that kid's going to learn a lot better than if you say, Coach is crazy. And they're going to listen to you and probably not learn. So we need that support. Please be on time at pickup. Or carpool, because we have other lives outside of the coaching that we need to get to. And then lastly, any type of communications with the coaches, please follow the athletic handbook. Playing time, strategy, those are topics that are not up for discussion. And ideally, you want to have your son approach the coaches first before intervening. Teach your kid how to self-advocate. If they're not playing as much as they want, have them go to the coach and say, hey, what do I need to prove to you in practice to play more? And the coach may give you some goals and the problem solved. So start there first. Other than that, tryouts are coming up quick. If I was getting ready right now, I'd be doing some conditioning, running on the track, doing some sprint work, obviously touching a basketball, shooting, dribbling as much as you can up until then, because again, tryouts are not an easy process. So, coming in out of shape is usually not a good sign. Other than that, best of luck. Let's go Bobcats, and we'll see you soon.